Hey guys, Lord Darkfire here, and I have a bit of a question. This is going to be a little bit different than what is normally put on my channel. Obviously because I really don't have a direction of where I'm going, but normally I don't talk about this sort of thing with many people, especially on YouTube, because the views are so vast that it would be a little confusing for me to try and explain some of the stuff that I am talking about now because I'm not quite as well read. Anyway, the discussion tonight has to do with what happens when you die. There are those that believe that when you die, you go to a heaven, and that's all well and good. There are those that believe when you die, nothing happens. Well, and I'm sorry for taking such long pauses, but I'm not quite sure how I want to word this, even though I have a few notes written down. I've come to the thought, let's say, that our body is mostly chemical, mostly water. When you break it down, everything turns into some sort of energy. At least that's my opinion. So, I would like to venture to say that in my thought, when somebody passes on, there is a very small part of them that remains. Now, what does it do? Where does it go? I'm not going to get into that right now, at least not yet, and see how this goes. But I would venture to think that when our bodies pass on, when the vessel dies, and through the process of decomposure, we become part of the earth. Whether it be food for worms or whatever, depending on how you are buried or if you're cremated. I'm going to stick with being buried because even though I would like to be cremated when I do pass on, my thought here kind of is along those lines at the moment. So, what happens to you? I mean, you decompose, you turn into a lot of molecules. So wouldn't it stand to reason, wouldn't it make sense, at least in some small portion, excuse me, that you become part of the earth? Now, that isn't to say that you're going to come back as something else, be it animal, be it insect, whatever, be it another human. It just means that you are reused, so to speak. So, I'm very curious. I know that I've heard very many arguments on every side of the story, but this is always one of those questions that has never been brought up. So I would like to know your opinions. This has been Lord Darkfire, and I will see you next time.